St. Petersburg is a city in Pinellas County, Florida, United States. As of the 2015 census estimate, the population was 257,083, making it the fifth most populous city in Florida and the largest in the state that is not a county seat. St. Petersburg is the second largest city in the Tampa Bay area after Tampa. Together with Clearwater, these cities comprise the Tampa St. Petersburg-Clearwater Metropolitan Statistical Area, the second largest in Florida with a population of around 2.8 million. St. Petersburg is located on a peninsula between Tampa Bay and the Gulf of Mexico, and is connected to mainland Florida to the north. St. Petersburg was founded in 1888 by John C. Williams, who purchased the land, and by Peter Demons, who brought the railroad industry into the area. As a part of a coin toss bet, the winner, Peter Demons, named the land after St. Petersburg, Russia, while Williams opted to name the first hotel built, which was named the Detroit Hotel, both named after the hometowns respectively. St. Petersburg was incorporated as a town on February 29, 1892 and reincorporated as a city on June 6, 1903. The city is often referred to by locals as St. Pete. Neighboring St. Pete Beach formally shortened its name in 1994 after a vote by its residents. St. Petersburg is governed by a mayor and city council, with an average of some 361 days of sunshine each year, and a Guinness World Record for logging the most consecutive days of sunshine. It is nicknamed the Sunshine City. Due to its good weather and low cost of living, the city has long been a popular retirement destination, although in recent years the population has moved in a much more youthful direction. American Style magazine ranked St. Petersburg its top mid-sized city in 2011, citing its vibrant art scene. History. Early settlement. The city was co-founded by John C. Williams, formerly of Detroit, who purchased the land in 1875, and by Peter Demons, who was instrumental in bringing the terminus of a railroad there in 1888. The first major newspaper to debut in Tampa Bay was the St. Petersburg Times, which established in 1884. St. Petersburg was incorporated as a town on February 29, 1892, when it had a population of only some 300 people. A local legend says that John C. Williams and Peter Demons flipped a coin to see who would have the honor of naming the city. When Demons won the coin toss, the city was named after St. Petersburg, Russia, where Peter Demons had spent half of his youth, while John C. Williams named the first hotel after his birthplace, Detroit. The Detroit Hotel still exists downtown, but has been turned into a condominium. The oldest running hotels are the historic Pier Hotel, built in 1921, formerly Hotel Cordova, and the Heritage Hotel, built in 1926. Philadelphia publisher F.A. Davis turned on St. Petersburg's first electrical service in 1897 and its first trolley service in 1904. The city's first major industry was born in 1899 when Henry W. Hibbs, a native of Newport, North Carolina, established his wholesale fish business at the end of the railroad pier, which extended out to the shipping channel. Within a year, Hibbs Fish Company was shipping more than 1,000 pounds of fish each day. Early 20th century development. St. Petersburg was incorporated into a city in June 1903. With this transition, the development of the downtown waterfront had dredging of a deeper shipping channel from 1906 to 1908, which opened St. Petersburg to larger shipping. Further dredging improved the port facilities through the 1910s. By then the city's population had quadrupled to a population of 4,127 citizens. In 1914, the Tampa Bay area was one of the first Floridian cities that fell in love with baseball, tracing its roots from Tampa and St. Petersburg. The former mayor of St. Petersburg, Al Lang, had invited the St. Louis Browns to move the spring training into the city. Taking place in the same year, the airplane service across Tampa Bay from St. Petersburg to Tampa and back was initiated, generally considered the first scheduled commercial airline flight. The company name was the St. Petersburg-Tampa Airboat Line, and the pilot was Tony Janis, flying a Benoist 14 flying boat. The Tony Janis Award is presented annually for outstanding achievement in the airline industry. Janis Live, a local music, entertainment venue on Central Avenue in downtown, is also named after him. Soon after, St. Petersburg's first library opened on December 1, 1915, which still operates till this day as the Mirror Lake Library. The 1920s in St. Petersburg was big due to its major growth brought by tourists. Tourists came from all over by automobile, yacht, and railroad. Travel time from across the bay was cut due to the Gandhi Bridge's opening in 1924, helping St. Petersburg increase in tourist numbers and helped grow it into the largest city in Pinellas County. The city also adopted the Mediterranean-style architecture brought by Snellisle's founder Perry Snell. An attraction that brought on a great number of tourists and citizens was the $1 Million Pier, which was built in 1926. Tourists declined by the late 1920s and early 1930s due to the Great Depression. Shortly after, near the end of the Great Depression, the city recovered due to the help of the Public Works Administration with a $10 million investment plan which helped build the St. Petersburg City Hall. By the 1940s, the city received a large population growth due to World War II. St. Petersburg was a training ground area for the U.S. Coast Guard, who had a training base and used the city's Bayborough Harbor, and for the Army Air Force, who was selected by the War Department to use the city as the technical service training station. With both stations occupying the city, more than 100,000 troops occupied all hotels in St. Petersburg. After the war, most troops who were stationed in St. Petersburg returned as residents or tourists. Mid to late 20th century, in the 1950s, St. Petersburg experienced another population increase with residents. The development of transportation was important with the increase of tourists. More automobiles were used in the city and subsequently the public streetcars were removed. In 1954, the original Sunshine Skyway Bridge opened its first span to link St. Petersburg with Manatee County. A year later, in 1955, Highway 19 opened in the city, creating a large influx of traffic. By the end of the 1950s, tourists and retirees increased in the area. The development of major transportation continued into the 1960s with the completion of the Howard Franklin Bridge in 1960, creating another connection between St. Petersburg and Tampa. St. Petersburg also received its first stadium, named the Bayfront Center, which hosted the first professional hockey league in Tampa Bay. A new municipal marina and a museum of fine arts were also built downtown. St. Petersburg is home to one of the world's largest reclaimed water systems that was built in the 1970s, which flows 37 million gallons of water per day to provide for customers located throughout the city. Development of the first Major League Baseball team to be located in the Tampa Bay area began in St. Petersburg throughout the 1970s. The city tried to encourage numerous teams through the United States to make St. Petersburg the new tenant, with the need of a Major League Baseball team. Designs for a ballpark were first presented in 1983 and construction for a permanent dome stadium began in 1986. The stadium opened in 1990 as the Florida Suncoast Dome, later named the Thunderdome in 1993. After many attempts to attract tenants to the new stadium, Major League Baseball gave St. Petersburg a franchise in 1995. In 1996, the dome was renamed a third time to Tropicana Field after naming rights were established with Tropicana Dole Beverages. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays was then established in 1998 after the stadium's renovation, and the new team played the first game on March 31, 1998, giving the Tampa Bay area their first professional baseball team. The city population continued to multiply during the 20th century, booming in the 1940s and 1950s and through the 1970s as the town became a popular retirement destination for Americans from Midwestern cities, reaching 238,647 in the 1980 census. By that time, however, the population had leveled off, and has grown by only 10,000 since then. In the decade from 2000 to 2010, the population of the city dropped by approximately 4,000 residents, while in the same period the population of Florida increased by over 2.5 million residents. Geography. Topography. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 137.6 square miles. 61.7 square miles of it is land, and 75.9 square miles of it is water. St. Petersburg is bordered by three bodies of water: the Old Tampa Bay, Middle Tampa Bay, and Lower Tampa Bay, all of which form the Tampa Bay. Downtown. Downtown St. Petersburg is the central business district, containing high-rises for office use, most notably the tallest building in the city, One Progress Plaza. The Tampa Bay Times newspaper is headquartered in the downtown area. The Poynter Institute, which owns the paper, is located on 3rd Street South. The Mahaffey Theater Complex, the Mauryan Arts Center, dozens of other art galleries, Haslam's Bookstore, the Coliseum, Palladium Theater, and Janus Live are among the galleries and cultural venues featured downtown. Several prominent museums are located in the perimeter. Many of them have received notable accolades, including the Chirsley Collection presented by the Mauryan Arts Center, the Museum of Fine Arts, the Salvador Dali Museum, the Florida International Museum, the St. Petersburg Museum of History, and the Florida Holocaust Museum. The city hosts many outdoor festivals throughout the year. St. Petersburg's downtown has been rated among the best in the South. The area's beaches are a 10-mile drive from downtown. Jutting a half-mile into the bay was the St. Petersburg Pier, a major tourist attraction that offered various activities. The lens design, which was chosen by the International Design Competition jury and accepted by City Council, later had its contract terminated by a citywide election during the summer of 2013. Following this, the Pier Park was chosen out of the 16 new design teams that submitted work in late 2014, and in 2015 the Pier Park was set for construction in early 2017. Downtown also contains the University of South Florida St. Petersburg and a downtown branch of St. Petersburg College. The downtown perimeter includes several parks, most of which are waterfront or lakefront. Straub Park is nearly a half-mile long, boasts a waterfront location, and is home of the St. Petersburg Museum of Fine Arts. The Vinoy Park Hotel has a bayfront location, a spot on the National Register of Historic Places, and an AAA4 Diamond rating. It fronts Vinoy Park, which holds music festivals, including the Warped Tour. Nearby is the historic Tramore Cafeteria building, now part of the Tampa Bay Times. The city is connected via the Looper trolley. Most of the dining and nightlife can be found downtown on a near Central Avenue, a beach drive along the waterfront. Venues include Janice Live and the State Theater. The active nightlife scene is credited to recent demographic and regulatory changes. In 2010, the City Council voted to extend bar hours until 3 a.m., identical to Cross Bay rival Tampa. Tropicana Field, home of Major League Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays, is located in the western part of downtown. Until 2008, the team played its spring training games at nearby Progress Energy Park. This setup was unique, making St. Petersburg the first city that played host to its baseball team during spring training as well as the regular season since the 1919 Philadelphia Athletics. At the end of 2007, there was a debate over a new stadium to be built on the downtown waterfront at the current Progress Energy Park site. Tropicana Field would be demolished and replaced with prime residential and retail space. Completion of the stadium was planned for 2012, however, the proposal has been tabled indefinitely while a community-based organization investigates all alternatives for new stadium construction. The Wikimedia Foundation had been located in downtown St. Petersburg since its founding by Jimmy Wales in 2003. The Wikimedia Foundation was later on incorporated into the city in 2005. On September 25, 2007, the foundation announced its move in late 2007 from St. Petersburg to the San Francisco Bay Area. St. Petersburg has the third largest dedicated public waterfront park system in North America, with a waterfront park system that stretches 7 miles and is used year-round for public events, festivals and other activities. In the early 20th century, citizens and city leaders engaged in a long and boisterous debate over the future of the young city's waterfront space, with one side advocating for commercial, port and industrial development and the other side advocating for a long-term commitment to parks and public access to the waterfront. The public access and park contingent won the debate when, on Christmas Eve 1909, the city announced the acquisition of the waterfront land that is encompassed by the waterfront park system. The city is also becoming one of the largest destinations in Florida for kiteboarding, with locations such as Fort DeSoto Park, Paza Grill, and 10 Cent. St. Petersburg locals such as Billy Parker and Alex Fox have gained a reputation for being some of the best kiteboarders in the world. The St. Petersburg Shuffleboard Club was established in 1924 and gained attention as the world's largest shuffleboard club, with 110 courts and over 5,000 members in the 1950s and 1960s. Cityscape Neighborhood St. Petersburg is home to more than 100 neighborhoods, with most of the historic districts located near the waterfront. In the eastern center of the city is downtown St. Petersburg, which includes the city's residential and commercial skyscrapers, art galleries, museums, and parks. The downtown area is home to the central business district to many start-up companies, corporation branches, banks, law firms, and restaurants. Apart from downtown's business and cultural aesthetics, the area resides a branch of St. Petersburg College and the University of South Florida. St. Petersburg Finally, the downtown district is home to two professional sports teams, the Tampa Bay Rays, who reside west of downtown at Tropicana Field, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are located downtown at Al Lang Stadium. North of downtown St. Petersburg lies historic Old Northeastern Snell Isle. Both are a place of residence to Mediterranean-style historic and waterfront homes, parks, and recreational areas. Old Northeast is also home to a shopping district, city landmarks, beaches, and small shops, as well as small residential high-rises. Snell Isle, however, was founded by C. Perry Snell, who bought up the land to develop upscale properties in the 1900s, and helped create some of St. Petersburg's resorts such as the Vinoy Park Hotel and the St. Petersburg Women's Club, both of which are listed on the U.S. National Register of Historic Places. The western side of St. Petersburg includes the Grand Central District and historic Kenwood. The Grand Central District houses the city's cafes, art galleries, restaurants, and bars, all owing to the Renaissance-style architecture, whilst in historic Kenwood is filled with art studios and galleries similarly to the Grand Central District. Southward to St. Petersburg is historic Rosa Park, which houses Mediterranean-style housing, parks, and museums. The neighborhood is divided by Booker Creek, which flows into Baber Harbor. Climate Street. Petersburg has a humid subtropical climate, closely bordering the tropical savanna climate, with a definite rainy season from June through September. St. Petersburg, like the rest of the Tampa Bay area, is occasionally affected by tropical storms and hurricanes. However, the last time a hurricane directly struck the city was in 1946. Many portions of St. Petersburg, especially along the bay and in South St. Petersburg, have tropical microclimates. Royal palms and coconut palms, as well as other tropical plants, grow to maturity. For the winter of 2014-15, the lowest recorded temperature at the St. Petersburg downtown airport was 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which the city recorded on February 20th. During the summer of 2015, the highest temperature recorded in the city was 95 degrees Fahrenheit, occurring on both June 16 and July 20. St. Petersburg has not recorded any freezing temperatures in the 5-year period dating back to November 2010, which is the oldest data available from the local National Weather Service office page. Demographics. 2010 census. According to a 2010 census, the city contained 244,769 people, making St. Petersburg the largest city in Pinellas County, and 129,401 households. The population density was 3,964.4 per square mile. The racial makeup of St. Petersburg was 168,036 white, 58,577 African American, 7,779 Asian, 723 Native American, 135 Pacific Islander, 3,474 from other races, and 6,045 from 2 or more races. Hispanic Latino of any race was 16,214, with 5,272 Puerto Rican, 2,855 Mexican, 2,835 Cuban, and other Hispanic Latino, making up 5,252 of the population, with the city having 129,401 households. 108,815 were occupied, while 20,586 were not occupied, with 108,815 of the population in households. 3,888 lived in non-institutionalized group quarters and 2,719 were institutionalized. There were 108,815 households, out of which 23,304 had children under the age of 18 living in them. 37,847 were opposite-sex married couples living together. 16,425 had a female householder with no husband present. 4,849 had a male householder with no wife present. There were 9,453 unmarried partnerships. 39,397 households were made up of individuals and 28,267 had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.19. Out of 108,815 occupied households, families made up 59,121 while non-families made up 49,694. The average family size was 2.88. The median age of the city was 41.6 years. 2000 census. As of 2000, 23.85% of households had children under the age of 18 living with them. 37.295% were married couples living together. 13.8% had a female householder with no adult living partner present, and 43.8% were non-families. 35.6% of all households were made up of individuals, and 13.3% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.10 and the average family size was 2.865. In 2000, the city's population was spread out with 21.5% under the age of 18, 7.7% from 18 to 24, 30.2% from 25 to 44, 23.1% from 45 to 64, and 17.4% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 39.24 years. For every 100 females there were 91.2 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 87.7 males. As of 2000, the median income for a household in the city was $34,597, and the median income for a family was $43,198. Males had a median income of $30,794 versus $27,860 for females. The per capita income for the city was $21,107. About 9.2% of families and 13.3% of the population were below the poverty line, including 19.1% of those under age 18 and 10.8% of those age 65 or over. In 2010, 17.8% of the population was under the poverty line, including 32.2% of those under age 18 and 14.1% of those age 65 or over. Languages. As of 2000, those who spoke only English at home accounted for 88.53% of residents. Spanish was spoken by 4.43%, German by 0.78%, French by 0.72% of speakers, Vietnamese by 0.67%, Serbo-Croatian by 0.52%, and Laotian by 0.51% of the population. Crime. St. Petersburg has the sixth highest rate of violent crime in Florida, and the lowest number of murder and manslaughter offenses of the top 6 violent crime cities in Florida. It is the 58th ranking city in the United States when it comes to violent crime. It is less safe than 95% of cities in Florida. Evidence of the social unrest and the schism within the city, particularly between South St. Petersburg and the rest of the city, came with the St. Petersburg, Florida riots of 1996. A notable murder in the city of an officer was the murder of police officer David Crawford by then-teenager Nicholas Lindsay. Economy. Largest employers according to the City of St. Petersburg, Florida's 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. The largest employers in the city are